Hey, folks, welcome to the final episode of season one review of Gen V here at Big Gold Belt Media, biggoldbeltmedia.com. Damien G, Cam, and Gotham Geek Girl Nadia in the house to finally put a bow on this season of what the is going on. And if you watched our last review and you took bets, I lost about who was going to bite the big one. I think we all lost.
Same.
But this was, as you guys said in the chat before I had a chance to watch the episode, whoa, crazy. And me going, what the fuck? So, Nadia, we'll start with you. Of everything that happened, what stood out in this episode?
Well, I'm going to go straight into it. When Marie blew up Cate's arm. Oh my god! I did not expect that. Yo. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, this episode was intense. A lot happened and a lot's gonna happen. Like, I love that it's gonna continue on and we're gonna see more because I guess the predicament they're in now, it's like, holy shit.
Cam?
Yeah, same. Just to piggyback off what Nadia said, I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes in the future for season 2 since it's been renewed, as we know. I like that little like superhero moment where Marie was like, okay, she had like, okay, let's be honest, she had like 2 seconds right before the guy was gonna attack the helicopter that was on the ground. For some reason, she had all this time to channel her inner chi
to process,
and then use the blood from all. And I'm like, you ain't got that much time, girl. You better hurry up. He's gonna kill everybody in there. For some reason, she had time in that split second and was able to stab my man with knives that she made out of it, though.
Knives of blood.
Knives of blood.
Blood daggers.
Crazy. It was crazy though. But great episode though. I don't know if I could have ended it any better than what they did, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, from beginning to end of the episode, I was obviously glued to my screen, but at the same token, the twists and turns we were left with leading to the end. And for those who are new here, full spoilers, like this whole season we've been spoiling shit, so be prepared for this one to have full spoilers. We'll just start with the biggest bombshell, okay? Fucking Homelander just shows up in the end in the last 10 seconds like Soldier Boy, and it's just like, and then proceeds to Soldier Boy all over Marie's torso. And then we are left with nothingness. And then we're back to square one. That's where it left me as a cliffhanger. We are back to square one, just with no doors. And we'll get to what that means in a second. So let me give you my overall arc of the episode. Did I love it? Yes. Was it full of twists and turns? Hell yes. Did I love that I left on cliffhanger? No. It ticked me off that it ended this way. And I know because it's been renewed for season 2 that it had to have some weird continuation with the boys where we see of all the teens that we have at this school, we got Cate and Sam as going into the 7th. Are you effing kidding me? But in keeping with the story and the course of the shows, this is right on the money because this is marketable. We got a armless empath for one to make money off of, and number 2, Sam, the proud brother of Golden Boy who carries on the lineage and legacy. The money sells itself. So I'm going to say when we get to that part of it, of the ending, I did not like the cliffhanger because it brought us all the way back to square one. What other things stood out, like just randomly, and then we can just all tie it together?
I guess kind of some of the like ways things, I guess like were handled. How like the panic button, like that wasn't expected for it to be like some kind of what do you call it? Like an EP. What's the word I'm looking for?
EMP pulse.
EMP, like an EMP that basically like almost stopped everyone. So it's kind of like they already kind of had like contingencies like in place for something like this to happen. Obviously, it didn't go as well as planned. And then, like, of course, we got to see Ashley and Vought, and they were kind of like, I guess, trying to figure out, like, oh, we need numbers, we need rankings, who can we bring in? And they were kind of questioning, like, I guess Marie and even like Andre. So I guess like a lot kind of happened, like so much really happened in this episode, because also like Polarity wanted Andre to take over, and then like it was kind of fucked up too because Polarity's dying because of his powers.
Because of the powers. Yep.
And then he's like, son, I want you to take the mantle. And Andre's kind of like, I might die.
Like, this is hereditary at this point. Like, every time we use our powers, we're gonna die. And that's something we found out, was not only is Polarity having some brain traumas that conceivably could kill him if he uses his powers, it's happening to Andre, because the doctor asks him, hey, have you noticed your hands twitching? So now I thought back, the whole season, when he's used his powers, has his finger been twitching? Because I'm over here thinking it was a Magneto thing where he's just like, you know, crumpling his hands. No, this is like a mid-stroke that's been happening to Andre all season, and we didn't see it until it was told to us. So that was a mind fuck in and of itself, which I appreciated because it had so much like underlying, like, pay attention and you'll get it, or blink and you'll miss it kind of situation. But yeah, that was a major situation too that stood out, the whole Polarity issue. Cam?
Yeah, I feel just to go off of that Polarity issue, I feel like his dad, right, his whole career with Vought or being a superhero felt like not just being a superhero, but being an African-American superhero. It seemed like he was walking on eggshells his whole life, right?
Correct.
And it seemed that he was just trying to tell his son, keep your head down, do the right thing, and you'll survive type thing. You know, just trying to make sure that not only his legacy survived, but his son didn't get caught up, you know, getting taken out by somebody more powerful. Even though that he knows at the end he's gonna end up dying because of using his powers too much. There were several things in the episode that actually stuck out, especially Emma. Her powers now, we show that it's not just her throwing up or you know,
it's tied to her
too
emotions
much to make her larger. It's an emotional thing. So if you feel small as an emotional person, it makes you shrink, I guess, too. But we never seen that, and we would think, you know, her mom making her do this stuff and making her feel small, that would have, like, she would already discover this power by now. But it was a cool twist, and I was like, oh man, like, I wonder, you know, because you think about it, all right, if you're a superhero and you got to be like, all right, hold on one second, I gotta go to the bathroom. You can be like, all right, we're not saving anything because she's still trying to work on herself right now. This guy's, you know, falling apart and drowning. I don't know what to do. But yeah, I think that was one of the coolest, I guess, like, character arcs that you saw, but you still see these characters developing, you know, which I like about it is that, you know, we didn't get a full circle story, but we're kind of like, we're slowly getting there. They didn't exactly just rush into it. Okay, they got new superhero suits. They're ready to save the day tomorrow. We're like, okay, we're still learning about these characters. And when Homelander did the laser eyes, I was like, oh, that's it. She's gone. She's gone.
Right.
Wakes up. Okay, in the bed. I'm like, well, maybe it was like a deflector, but I knew something was wrong is when he was like, wait, stop, get back. And I was like, I was like, he turning on the ass.
Wrong one.
And I was like, get out of there, girl. So it was crazy. It was a crazy episode.
Yeah, and oh, trust me, we'll get to the Homelander part because it's one of those, like, it was so quick, but it was so poignant. You know, unlike some of the other cameos this season, like when we had Soldier Boy be, you know, an imaginary friend. So having him there just kind of helped with the transition from Gen V into the boys, which inevitably we'll find out what happens to the characters. But I want to take it all the way back to when we talked last week about a civil war that was brewing between the supes, of the group. It was going to be those who want, like the Magnetos, who want to kill all the normal people versus the X-Men types who want to protect everybody because it's the right thing to do, which leads to a rift between Emma and Sam. And while Sam is trying to kill the drama teacher, they act out one of the best, like, monologue romantic scenes I've seen in television. in a long time, because if you're watching the show, the director is bad mouthing, talking about this isn't stage presence and yada yada yada. Oh no, they had stage presence in that brief like lovers quarrel, and it made me think, oh shit, he's right, because Sam basically calls Emma out for trying to get herself over, pleasing other people, still trying to be a celebrity as opposed to being a hero, like that she's really just looking out for her. And he brought these things to the surface, and it even had me thinking like, oh shit, he right. Oh yeah, no, Emma's been pretty much a self-survivor this entire series, especially the early portions when we first met her. And then for him to burn her like that, because she truly, by all accounts, was in love with Sam. And that's why she shrunk down, and that's how we find out that her powers are linked to her emotional state, not just because she can yak or eat. So that was powerful. And then the wrinkle of Sam asking Emma to turn off his feelings because he's having... Go ahead. So yeah, Cate, to turn off the feelings. Yeah. Nadia, go ahead. Talk about that real quick.
Oh, yeah. So I guess going back to like that whole scene, like it was a little messed up because he basically told her like, you're not a hero. And that, like you said, like that whole scene was like, oh, fuck. And then she shrunk, like can't mention, like we didn't really see that coming, it being like attached to her feelings. Yes. And then Sam is kind of on this like whole mission. Like him and Cate think like it's us against them. Like we have to fight back. They believe what they're doing is right. So in his mind, he's like, I don't need feelings. It doesn't matter. Like, let me do what I got to do. And also, I think it's also to try to block Luke, because Luke is holding him back because he keeps having these visions of his brother, and his brother's trying to stop him. Like, even when he's having a conversation with Cate, he keeps looking off, and she's like, who the fuck are you talking to? And then, like, he turns back to her, and he's like, okay, help me. And then, like, it's done.
Cam?
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like I kind of understood where Sam was coming from, because like, I mean, suicide is a terrible thing, right? But like, he felt like, his brother left him and took the easy way out, I guess, in that sense. He just felt like, if you were really here to help me and not just be in my brain, you would be here fighting with me, So he was like, I'm going to choose the other side. I mean, even though right now it doesn't look like I'm on the right side, for me, I mean, he's obviously gone through so much stuff and kind of halfway delusional. So why not, Yeah, I think that was one of the craziest parts on the episode. I'm trying to remember. There was one other Cate, when Cate was like, drawing a blank. When she was trying to jump after Jordan, of course, got her hand blown off, right? That was the craziest part, because now I'm like, all right, so we know Rufus, right? He ain't got his pieces no more, right? So I'm like, all right, do some supes have regenerative power? I mean, I figured that would just be a power in its own, but it's like, all right, would she get her arm grown back? I doubt it, but her power wouldn't work through a prosthetic, so she's just a one-armed
empath.
Like, all right, you got to get on my right side. Hold on, come here.
Like, wait, take this hand.
Like, don't hold that hand. Hold this hand real quick. Like, oh, all right.
Yeah, like you said that Andre still, obviously, rightfully, still doesn't trust her.
Good.
She was like, take my hand, and he's no.
Yeah.
I screamed out when she had her hand out to touch Andre. I'm like, get your hand away from him. Fuck out of here.
Don't trust her. He's Jose loyal.
I think it was even crazier when they started letting out all of the supes that were like locked up. And the one superhero who was like sweating profusely, right? That guy was sweating like crazy. And he came out, he was like, are you a supe? And she was like, no, I'm actually a... I was like, oh, well, there... She's just going to work,
Yeah. Like, melted her face just because she just happened to be there at the wrong time.
Yeah, I found that interesting too, that all the supes from the woods, none of them had any compassion whatsoever. They all were like, you're all dying. Like, if you're not a supe, you're all dying. Like, they all just came out. And it was cool seeing all the different, like, X-Men characters. Yeah. We had a Nightcrawler in there. We had a Cyclops.
Yeah, he was very much like Nightcrawler. He was running on all fours and everything. And I was like...
disappearing. That scene was awesome.
Cyclops. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we had a whole bunch of fake X-Men basically, and then, so for that about the whole everybody who got out the woods. This is the Sam effect, because when Sam first escaped the woods, he didn't know what the fuck to do. He's like, I've been trapped here for so long. It's like letting a feral animal out of its cage for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, where do we go? And then Cate, probably feeding them, either A, used her powers, or B, just said, hey, we're going to hurt the people that hurt you. Cool, let's do this, and they're just out there tearing shit up. And just, this is what would happen, literally, if the X-Men were real. This is what would happen. We would have Xavier students versus the Brotherhood. We saw it play out with teenagers. And when you take all that and hormones and all this other stuff, you are left with bedlam. As we saw, the entire campus had to be put on the lockdown with a high-pitched squeal that exploded one person's head. And then, well, two people, if you want to talk about the social media guy who literally on camera had to watch his head explode or feel it explode because I
was gonna bring him up too. Like, I was gonna say that's one thing that The Boys does so well is they incorporate real life things like social media. So this guy's over here thinking like, oh, like I'm gonna get some cool footage, blah blah blah. I'm gonna do this, gonna do my thing, and he's like, oh, I got this. Like, he basically kills that one supe. And then Cate like turns around and uses it on him. So it's like, oh man.
That must be Cate's other superpowers, being where everybody doesn't expect her to be. You're like, how the fuck did you get over here?
Yeah.
Because she almost did it to Jordan too. Because we're like, where'd you come from?
Like, don't touch Jordan.
Right. I always think about the lack of longevity for their powers. Like, they use it and they're exhausted. And I'm like, all right, well, are you done? Or you gonna give him a little bit more? Like, I mean, of course, Andre, he caught that helicopter and he was about to take a nap. Cate, her eyes about to bleed out of her head.
Okay, so that was real, right? She was bloodshot the entire time.
Yeah, like her eyes, they just like
and
slowly
you'll
start to see bloodshot.
She was weak.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And Marie, I was gonna say another thing that stood out too was she remembered what Victoria said. And she basically sensed Maverick.
Yeah.
So that was crazy because now I think that's even exploring her powers even more because now she can literally like feel their heart beating or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know he was actually translucent.
Yeah, that was another reveal.
And I was like, they throw like little nuance and stuff.
It's a throwaway line. On top of that, you're just not expected to pay attention. All of a sudden, you're like, wait, did she just say? And that's exactly what happened. Man, like this, and I hate saying it that way. This was just random as F as all hell. Because while we're all talking, I'm remembering moments of the episode, thinking, "Oh shit, yeah, that did happen." And to Cam's point about the powers. These again are teenagers, so they are straining and stressing. They don't have full control of their powers. Say what you want about Godolkin, there is a point to learning how to control your powers so it doesn't wipe the floor with you after you use them. In Andre's case, he's now dying. In Cate's case, maybe her brain is going to hemorrhage, and because her brain in one episode was about to collapse on itself. So who's to say what other side effects are there for having powers? Because now that Nadia brought this up, if you have powers, that doesn't make you invulnerable. What is it doing to your actual body when you're using said powers? So like for instance, when we found out back in the day where Nightcrawler actually had to go through a hell dimension to teleport, they're like, so what exactly? Oh, Wolverine hurts himself every time he sheathes his claws. What other things are happening to you when you use your powers? And I know that's something very granular we would probably think about, and most comic book fans wouldn't. But in this case, for the point that Cam is making, that's actually a really good point. So going to this school for the dog and pony show it is, maybe they do learn how to control their powers, and it better prepares them to be a part of either Celebrity or the Seven or what have you. So that's a little wrinkle that I didn't expect to really think about. But again, me being me, those are the random things that pop into my head when I'm either doing a show with you all or just watching the show in general. Marie, like you said, thinking she had all the time in the world just to come up with blood daggers to do this, and all the blood comes up like Moses parting the damn sea. And I'm like, what the hell? And the best you came up with was little daggers. Like, that's where your imagination took you to. Like,
and even
okay.
then, the I forgot his position, the theater like director guy. He's like, oh, I could use this for a movie. Like they're literally being attacked and everyone's dying, and he's like
Right.
thinking of like
Profit.
How to make a profit.
That's it. Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Oh man, and there were some gruesome deaths here. You know, let's be real. The
Oh, yeah.
fucking the guard that had to punch his own brain out.
Eat
you
his
know,
hand.
so-
Eat his
Oh
hand.
my
Oh,
God.
eat his hand. That's
yeah.
what he was
Yeah.
doing. Okay.
Eat your own hand. I was like, ew. But
I
he
was
was
like,
like,
"Damn,
but the worst
Cate."
part he was chewing and he was like, oh,
'Cause he was like,
Oh, my
understood.
just stop,
okay.
sir. That was
And then
crazy.
people's heads getting blown off, you
Mhm.
know, punched off, literally. Thanks, Sam. You know, just a lot of, and I'm not into mindless gore, mind you, but just seeing it, it really sets the tone as to what would happen if superheroes went rogue and just started killing regular folk. This is what happened. You get your face melted off, you get your arm eaten off by your damn self, and your head gets blown off. And as all hell breaks loose, we see, I guess, the Professor X Gen Vs versus Magneto Gen Vs toward the end. And then it's one of those things where Sam and Jordan were going at it. And I'm thinking, oh, they're going to fucking kill, not Jordan, Andre. And I'm like, they're going to kill Andre. And then Andre smartly, I guess, using his powers in his brain, was able to subdue Sam, which we haven't seen this entire season. And we finally see Sam get subdued. But it took so much out of Andre that they all look like they need a cigarette at the end of it because they were so drained. So it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, that's how you neutralize Sam. And then to tie all this on, we thought Jordan was going to bite it at one point, like you said, when Cate came out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, Jordan's going to die. We said this. Jordan survives. And then Marie's all, you saw how happy Marie was? Like, and then, oh no, when Jordan was about to get caught.
Horrible.
And then out of nowhere, Marie just blows off Kate's hand.
Did not expect that.
Fly
No, not at
everywhere.
all. Not at all.
So yeah, don't speak to that.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, when Homelander blasted Marie, I was super surprised, like how she was fine. I mean, I know she's in the hospital, but yeah, I was still wondering like how she was able to survive that. And then it appears that Emma, Marie, Andre, and Jordan are gonna take the blame.
Yes.
And Sam and Cate are now called the new Guardians of Godolkin. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Victoria Newman had anything to do with this, because remember when she tricked the doctor and she's kind of taking things into her own hands. I wonder if in the second season we're gonna see, I don't know if there's a connection with her and Homelander and like kind of shifting the story to making them the bad guys. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how this is all gonna play out.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of extra pieces that we haven't seen yet that are probably in play somewhere. What's his name? Was it Victor Newman?
Victoria Newman.
No, I'm sorry, her father.
I was gonna say Gus.
No, not Gus.
Stanley.
Stanley. Yeah. I feel like we are going to see him at some point. Like he's in the background pulling puppet strings, doing something. But I feel like I was also surprised that she was able to take that blast like a champ. Like they all said, they were like, yo, you really ate that. But I'm like, all right, maybe that correlates also with her blood healing powers. Like maybe her consciousness heals her if she knows that her body's damaged. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's some way that would be able to explain how she was able to heal herself. But where the hell are they now? Where are the doors?
Yes.
Where are the damn doors at?
And then the
Do we have
fact
any
that
idea?
Butcher shows up in the end credit.
Yes.
I'm wondering if he
yeah,
was
yeah.
talking to, maybe he was the one on the phone.
Yeah. With was it Valerie? What's her name? Colonel Valerie.
I forget her
I know,
name,
I
but
just-
yeah, the woman
Yeah.
from like 2
Yeah,
episodes
yeah.
ago that was talking to
Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. Good point. So where do we think they are?
Some
one
what
knows.
lab? I don't know. Some kind of what lab?
It
I
could be
really don't
anywhere.
know.
The lab could be under the ocean where only the deep could take them. Who knows? Like I don't know. It could
But
be anywhere.
That's also where I'm confused where the whole, like, I guess, show is going, because
Mhm.
Isn't Homelander no longer part of the 7?
Well, I think the 7 was kind of disbanded, right? Because everybody, I mean, I know, what's the guy in the all black? God, what's his name?
Not translucent.
No, translucent. He toast.
Yeah,
We know he
translucent
toast.
wig on.
Yeah,
He's the
Maeve
one
is
that he
gone.
was the pedophile in the comics.
Yeah, but he like imaginary. He has like these imaginary
Black
little
Noir,
dogs
Black
and stuff.
Noir.
Black Noir.
Yeah.
So he's gone. Homelander killed him, right? He's gone. The Deep, he's still out there trying to weasel his way into anything at this point. I think A-Train is still around. I know Maeve is gone. She got the one eye gone, and she's like in hiding, I guess you could say. I'm pretty sure. What's her name? Oh my god, Starlight. She gone. She's not working with them anymore. I'm pretty sure she just wants to live a normal life. But I don't know. Like, I mean, unless they're trying to put together a whole nother team, because when they were looking at that paper, they were looking for one person. And I'm like,
yeah, that's why I'm confused.
There's a lot of positions open,
like,
guys. Like
timeline, isn't this after? Like that's why I'm.
This is after Homelander, I guess.
Yeah.
Like cut that guy, which was after I guess his whole fight with Soldier Boy. So I don't know. They keep us guessing though. I will say that Gen V and the Boys series, you guys are doing a great job. Keep us guessing because I'm enjoying it so far. So
this is so random, but I was gonna say fun fact in the when they were looking at the like the lineup of who they could bring in, and when they got to Andre, they were like random like British accent. The actor was actually like British.
He's really British, right? In real life,
he's really British in real life. So I thought that was hilarious. I was like, it's so random, but I thought it was really funny.
That like.
So just to tie a bow on it, this ended like Civil War. If you remember the original Civil War movie where everybody winds up at the raft after the battle at the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what happened. They took the Civil War concept, like we brought up last episode, and they ended it just like Civil War. With now, but the only difference is there's nobody to break them out, and maybe we'll see when they cross paths. And I guess season whatever of the Boys. What season are they up to now?
4.
Okay,
yeah, 4.
And we get the stinger of Billy Butcher. So now it's, oh man, too many storylines are going to cross. But this is by far the most random episode of the season in a season full of randomness. Any last thoughts?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm really excited with the way the show is going. And I just can't wait to see how they go further, connecting it to the Boys and if they're going to keep these characters around, because now it seems like the showrunners want to keep the Boys going. I wouldn't mind like a couple more seasons. So I'm wondering if they'll bring them back in or how it's all going to tie together.
Yeah, same. I think they did a great job with this. Story arc as well as the pacing of each episode was really, really good. Definitely action packed and very eventful every episode. Usually you don't get that. Sometimes certain seasons or different series or IPs, you see a lot of filler episodes, and I don't think there was one in this whole entire season. Like Nadia said, I hope maybe they'll introduce a brand new like another class of superheroes for Gen V. Maybe they'll introduce a new class, and then all of a sudden these superheroes will, or I guess these characters will peel off into the Boys series. Maybe it'd be like a back and forth type thing. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think they did a great job, though.
I have said all season, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was.
You cut out.
Yeah, cut out again.
My microphone is weird today. Are we still dead or no?
I think you're okay now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank y'all for tuning in with us this whole season. Gen V Season 1, Prime Video, Big Gold Belt Media, BigGoldBeltMedia.com. Damon G across all your social medias. Nadia, where can people find you?
GothamGeekGirl.com, also on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out my Invincible review up now.
I gotta watch that, by the way. Cam.
Yeah, you can catch me at Cam's Collection on YouTube, IG, and on Twitter.
By the way, if anyone wants to use Cam to do a TikTok, please do, because he's going to be the one that teaches me how to do TikToks, because I am old and I don't know how to do these things. But again, that is Big Gold Belt Media, BigGoldBeltMedia.com, and we will catch you at the next review. Peace.